Before we delve into the virtues of silence, let's understand the immense value it brings to our lives. From Seneca to Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosophers contemplated not just the passive state of silence, but recognized it as an active choice. This choice demands the suppression of one's immediate reactions and the cultivation of a calm, unruffled spirit. In this noisy world, where distractions are incessant, silence can be a sanctuary of peace and a fortification of the soul. As dawn breaks over a silent, snowy landscape, one can almost hear the Stoics whisper, "In silence, there is wisdom." This image isn't just a physical depiction, but a metaphor for the serene clarity that envelops us when we choose silence over speech. It symbolizes the clean slate, the unspoken potential. Silence, for the Stoics, was a way of living in harmony with one's thoughts and emotions, holding them close, examining them before deciding if they were worth expressing. This practice is not about suppression, it's about selection, the art of choosing what words bring value and which ones only contribute to the chaos. Stay tuned as we explore the profound impact of choosing when to speak and when to remain silent. Navigating the complex landscape of human interactions requires wisdom and discernment, qualities that Stoics honed through thoughtful silence. In personal relationships, businessmen's meetings, or even casual interactions, the decision to remain silent can be as impactful as choosing to speak. Here, the gap between the two individuals may seem filled with silence, but it's actually rife with unspoken communication. This reflective pause provides a moment for internal dialogue, where thoughts can be assessed and emotions tempered. Knowing when to hold your tongue, a skill mastered through the Stoic exercise of self-reflection, can prevent misunderstandings and build deeper connections. It's about recognizing that not every silence needs filling, and that not every question demands your noise. Silence can be a space where empathy grows, where we give room to others' thoughts and allow understanding to blossom. In conflict, where emotions often run high and words can become weapons, silence can serve as a shield and a mediator. It offers a pause in the heat of debate, a cooling period for overheated minds. In negotiations, strategic silence can shift dynamics, suggest confidence, and even unsettle the other party, leading them to reveal more than they intended. The tension in the room, palpable. One negotiator's choice to embrace silence instead of retaliating with quick retorts creates a pivot in the discussion. This pause not only disrupts the expected rhythm, but also infuses the space with a non-verbal assertion of control. By grounding your actions in Stoic calmness, silence in these situations doesn't reflect weakness, but profound strength and self-control. It allows the storm of the other's words to pass, giving you the clarity to respond with insightful, measured words that can diffuse arguments rather than fuel them. Personal growth often demands introspection, a journey made richer and more insightful in the quiet. In silence, we can hear the faint whispers of our deeper desires and face the echoes of our fears. This internal dialogue, if given the space to unfold, can guide us toward genuine self-improvement and inner peace. This tranquil scene is a metaphor for the mind in reflection, where thoughts are mirrored clearly without distortion. In the quiet, the mind, like the lake, reflects our truest self back to us. Stoics practiced routine self-examination, a process that was deeply entrenched in silence. This practice was not a passive activity. It required an active engagement with one's thoughts, sorting and understanding them without distraction. Here, silence acts not merely as a backdrop, but as a catalyst for personal evolution. Silence in leadership, the quiet strength. Leadership often conjures images of charismatic, outspoken individuals, but Stoic philosophy presents an alternative model. The leader who speaks less, but whose words carry profound impact. This form of leadership, rooted in reflection, stability, and the potent use of silence, can inspire and influence with subtlety and depth. In this moment, the leader's decision to listen rather than speak transforms the room's dynamics. It shifts focus from simply reacting to understanding, and from commanding to empowering. This silent leadership style fosters an environment where ideas can emerge organically, and team members feel valued and heard. Silent leaders use their quietude as a strategy, not a weakness. They gather information, absorb perspectives, and then speak with intention and precision. In a world where everyone is quick to voice opinions, the leader who pauses to reflect and chooses their words carefully commands a unique respect and authority. Practicing silence in everyday life. Incorporating silence into daily life may seem challenging amidst our current culture's noise, but it is both feasible and rewarding. Simple practices like meditating in the morning, taking quiet walks, or even implementing moments of silence before responding in conversation can cultivate a stoic calmness and clarity. Here, amidst the soft morning light, a figure finds peace in meditation, embracing the quiet. This daily practice is not only a retreat, but a preparation, a way to fortify the mind against the day's chaos and noise. These moments of silence are not about disengagement from the world, but about better engagement with it. By allowing ourselves these pauses, we enhance our ability to focus, make more considered decisions, and interact with others more thoughtfully. Silence, integrated into daily routines, can transform our approach to life and interactions, aligning us more closely with Stoic virtues. The misuse of silence, when silence is not golden. While silence is a powerful tool in the Stoic arsenal, it is not universally appropriate. There are times when silence can be complicit or even harmful. Recognizing these moments and choosing to speak out is as much a part of Stoic wisdom as knowing when to be silent. In this charged atmosphere, one voice breaks the silence, choosing to speak when silence would mean complicity. This action highlights the importance of discernment in the use of silence. Stoicism does not advocate for silence as an escape from responsibility, but as a deliberate, ethical choice. This critical aspect of Stoic thought reminds us that the line between prudent silence and negligent quietude is fine but crucial. It teaches us that true wisdom lies not just in knowing when to withhold words, but also in understanding when to wield them courageously. Conclusion: integrating silence into a modern Stoic life. Embracing silence in our verbose world might seem like stepping back, but as Stoic philosophy shows us, it is often the most forward-thinking approach we can take. Silence in the Stoic sense is not about the absence of noise, but about the presence of a deeper listening, understanding, and reflecting. As the city transitions from day to night, there is a moment of profound silence, an emblem of transition and reflection. It serves as a daily and peace that can come from embracing quiet moments. To live a Stoic life in modern times is to recognize the power of silence and to use it wisely and ethically. It is about cultivating a calm inner center from which all external actions arise, guided by reason and clarity. In silence, we find the space to grow, to lead, and to connect more deeply with ourselves and the world around us.
Remember, you are not a dumping ground for negativity. You are a temple of peace and positivity. It's a stark reminder we all need when we encounter toxic individuals. Ever questioned how to steer clear of the turbulent tides created by such people? This question may resonate deeply with those who have been subjected to the draining influence of such individuals. Toxic people, those who constantly emit negativity, can impose a heavy toll on our mental and emotional health. They can obscure our judgment, impede our growth, and even damage our relationships with others. Mastering how to counter these individuals effectively is essential. It's not about retaliating or stooping to their level, about nurturing resilience, strength, and understanding. It's about devising ways to safeguard ourselves while also retaining our own positivity and well-being. The journey may be arduous, but it's certainly feasible, and more importantly, it's crucial for our overall health and happiness. So are you ready to arm yourself with the knowledge and strategies to confront these challenging encounters? In this video, we shall delve into 15 smart practices to deal with toxic individuals. First and foremost, one must learn to recognize toxicity. Imagine a constant cloud of negativity, a persistent downpour of pessimism. That's your first sign, an individual who consistently drains the joy out of any situation, leaving you feeling depleted and demoralized. Next, we have manipulation, a more insidious trait. It's a chess game where you're the pawn, and the toxic person is always strategizing, always planning their next move. They could use guilt, fear, or even flattery to control your actions and decisions. Lastly, a blatant disregard for personal boundaries. A toxic person doesn't understand the concept of your space. They bulldoze through your comfort zone without a second thought, leaving you feeling invaded and disrespected. These signs might not always be glaringly obvious, but with a keen eye and a bit of intuition, you can spot them. Remember, recognizing the signs is the first step to dealing with toxic people. Secondly, understand that their toxicity isn't about you. A crucial aspect of dealing with toxic individuals is recognizing that their negativity is not a reflection of you, but rather a manifestation of their own internal struggles. You see, toxic people are often embroiled in a tumultuous battle within themselves, and their outward behavior is merely a projection of this internal chaos. So when you find yourself on the receiving end of their toxicity, remember it's not about you, it's about them. It's about their insecurities, their fears, their unresolved issues. It's easy to internalize their negativity, to take it personally, to let it tarnish your self-view. But resist this urge. Don't let their storms cloud your sunshine. Don't let their words define your worth. Don't let their actions dictate your reactions. This is easier said than done, of course, but with practice, it can be achieved. Remember, their behavior is a reflection of them, not you. Thirdly, establish clear boundaries. Boundaries, my dear friends, are like invisible lines that we draw to protect ourselves. They define the limits of what we find acceptable, and they help us maintain our sanity, especially when dealing with toxic individuals. Imagine you're in a garden of your own making. You wouldn't want weeds to overrun it, would you? That's what toxic people are, weeds in the garden of your life. And how do you keep weeds at bay? By setting boundaries. Boundaries can be as simple as limiting the time spent with these individuals, refusing to engage in negative conversations, or even deciding not to respond to provoking comments. Remember, you have the right to protect your peace of mind. Boundaries are not about changing the other person's behavior, they're about modifying our own responses and preserving our well-being. So stand your ground. Let your boundaries be your shield against toxicity. Boundaries protect your mental and emotional well-being. Fourthly, avoid engaging in their drama. Now, this might sound like a tall order, especially when the toxicity seems to be swirling all around you, but it's crucial to remember that you have a choice. You can choose not to get entangled in the web of negativity spun by a toxic individual. Imagine their drama as a whirlpool. The closer you get, the stronger the pull, and before you know it, you're sucked into a vortex of negativity, wasting your energy and time. Instead, choose to stay on the shore, observe the whirlpool from a distance, but never dive in. Remember, every interaction you have is like a dance. If you refuse to participate, there is no dance. It's like a game of tug-of-war. If you drop your end of the rope, the game ends. Maintain your peace, protect your energy, and prioritize your well-being. Steer clear of their chaos. Fifthly, practice self-care. A crucial step in dealing with toxicity is ensuring that your mental, emotional, and physical health are well attended to. It's like putting on a suit of armor. The better your overall health, the more resilient you become against the stress caused by toxic individuals. Think of self-care as a daily routine. Start your day with a healthy meal, engage in physical activities that you enjoy, or take a few minutes to meditate. These small actions can make a significant difference in your overall well-being and mood. Remember, your emotional health is paramount. Allow yourself the space to feel, process, and understand your emotions. It's perfectly okay to take a step back, breathe, and deal with your feelings. Never underestimate the power of a good night's sleep either. It's the ultimate reset button, preparing you for the challenges of a new day. In the grand scheme of things, taking care of yourself is taking care of your future. Self-care is a powerful tool against toxicity. Sixthly, seek support. It's crucial to remember that you are not an island, isolated and alone in your struggles with toxicity. The world is teeming with individuals who are ready and willing to lend a helping hand. Friends, family members, or even professionals can provide a fresh perspective or helpful advice on dealing with toxic individuals. Let's take a moment to appreciate the power of human connection. Sharing your experiences with someone you trust can be immensely therapeutic. It can help you process your feelings, make sense of your experiences, and explore possible solutions. In some instances, professional support may be beneficial. Therapists and counselors are trained to help you navigate difficult situations, and they can equip you with the tools to manage and overcome toxicity. Remember, there's strength in unity. By seeking support, you're arming yourself with a powerful weapon against toxicity. You don't have to deal with toxicity alone. Seventhly, focus on positive relationships. Our journey through life is significantly influenced by the company we keep. It's vital, therefore, to invest our time and energy in relationships that uplift us, inspire us, and make us want to be better versions of ourselves. These relationships are those that make you feel valued, respected, and loved. They are the ones that encourage your growth and development rather than stifle it. They are the relationships that make your heart feel lighter, not heavier. But how do you find these relationships, you ask? Well, they're often right in front of you. They could be your family, friends, mentors, or even colleagues. The key is to identify these positive influences and make an effort to nurture these relationships. In the end, remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So choose wisely. Surround yourself with positivity. Eighthly, limit contact. Now, this might seem a tad harsh, but it's often a necessary measure when dealing with toxic individuals. Picture your life as a beautiful garden. Now, what happens if you allow weeds to grow unchecked? They'll choke out the vibrant flowers, won't they? The same principle applies to toxic individuals in your life. By reducing or completely eliminating contact with such individuals, you can prevent them from sapping your emotional energy and casting a shadow over your happiness. Like pruning unwanted weeds, limiting contact allows for the healthy growth of your self-esteem, positivity, and overall mental well-being. Remember, it's not about being rude or cruel. It's about protecting your peace and nurturing your personal growth. You are in control of who gets to be a part of your life and who doesn't. So don't be afraid to take a step back. After all, distancing yourself from negativity is a form of self-care. Limiting contact can reduce stress and negativity. Ninthly, express yourself. Now, this isn't a call to confrontation, but rather a reminder that your feelings and perceptions matter. It's crucially important to articulate your concerns about the toxic individual's behavior. But remember, it's all about balance. Taking a respectful approach can make a world of difference. It's not about pointing fingers or laying blame. It's about expressing how their actions affect you. Use I statements to keep the conversation centered on your experiences. For instance, instead of saying, "You make me feel ignored," try, "I feel ignored when you interrupt me." Remember, it's not always about changing the other person. Sometimes it's about giving voice to your feelings. By expressing yourself, you affirm your worth and create space for understanding and growth. Understanding won't always be immediate, and that's okay. Patience, my dear listener, is a virtue that's often rewarded. Communicate effectively and consistently, and you just might find that effective communication can lead to resolution. 10thly, remain calm. When faced with toxicity, staying composed is more than just a suggestion, it's a necessity. Picture yourself as a serene lake, unperturbed by the storms that may rage around it. The waves of negativity, the turbulent winds of toxic remarks, they can't disturb your inner peace. Why is this so crucial, you ask? Well, maintaining your calm prevents you from reacting impulsively, from saying or doing something you might later regret. It gives you time to think, to assess the situation, and respond in the most appropriate way. Moreover, when you remain calm, you deny the toxic individuals the satisfaction of seeing you lose your nerve. They feed off your agitation, your discomfort. Don't give them that satisfaction. Show them that their toxicity doesn't affect you, that you're above it. In essence, your calmness is your shield, your armor against the arrows of toxicity. So no matter what, always remember, keeping your cool can prevent escalation. 11thly, be assertive. In the grand chessboard of life, assertiveness is a knight, maneuvering around obstacles, standing its ground, and assertively making its presence known. It's not about being aggressive, but rather it's about expressing your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs in a direct, honest, and appropriate way. When dealing with toxic individuals, assertiveness is your shield and sword. These individuals thrive on control and manipulation. By being assertive, you reclaim control and throw off their game. You let them know that their toxic behavior is not acceptable and you won't let it slide. Assertiveness also helps in setting clear boundaries. It's about saying no when you need to, and yes when you want to, without fear of judgment or repercussions. It's about standing up for your rights and demanding respect. So remember, being assertive isn't about picking fights or being confrontational. It's about standing up for yourself, communicating effectively, and maintaining control over your life. Assertiveness can discourage toxic behavior. 12thly, practice empathy. This may sound counterintuitive when dealing with toxicity, but empathy is a powerful tool. It's about understanding the emotions and perspectives of others, even when their actions may not be desirable. Now, this doesn't mean you should tolerate or justify their toxic behavior. Instead, it helps to understand that their actions might be an outward expression of their own internal struggles. Empathy allows us to see beyond the surface, beyond the toxicity, and into the heart of the matter. It gives us a glimpse into the reasons behind their actions. It's like walking a mile in their shoes, feeling their pebbles, their thorns, their discomfort. And remember, empathy is not about agreeing with them or accepting their toxic behavior. It's about understanding where they're coming from. It's about acknowledging their experiences, their pain, their fears. It gives you a broader perspective, which in turn can help you respond more effectively. Empathy can help you understand, not necessarily agree. 13thly, keep a positive mindset. Now, this might sound like a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. Positivity is a shield. It's a suit of armor that you wear to battle the dragons of negativity. When you're dealing with toxic individuals, it's easy to let their negativity seep into your thoughts. But don't let it. You are the master of your mind, and you can choose to keep it filled with light, not darkness. Think of positivity as your secret weapon. It's like a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day, a beacon that guides you through the storm. It's the knowledge that no matter how difficult things might seem right now, there's always a silver lining. There's always something to be thankful for, something to smile about. Remember, you can't control other people's actions, but you can control your own reactions. And choosing to stay positive is the most powerful reaction of all. Positivity can counteract negativity. 14thly, know when to walk away. It's a decision that may seem harsh, but it's sometimes the most beneficial one for your personal well-being. When toxicity becomes overwhelming and starts to seep into your peace of mind, it's time to consider severing ties. Recognize the signs. Are you consistently feeling drained, disheartened, or disrespected? Is this person causing more harm than good? If so, it might be time to take a step back. This isn't about running away from difficult situations, but rather making a wise choice for your emotional health. Walking away doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're strong enough to prioritize your well-being over maintaining a harmful relationship. It's not about blaming the other person, but about protecting yourself. It's about understanding that some relationships, no matter how deep or long-standing, aren't meant to last forever. So, remember, when the scales tip towards toxicity, more often than not, it's time to consider a bold move. Walking away can sometimes be the smartest move. Lastly, engage in self-reflection. Our journey through life is a continuous learning process, and the key to learning is reflection. It's not just about evaluating the actions of others, it's also about understanding our own behavior. You see, we often become so engrossed in the toxicity of others that we overlook our own actions and how they might be contributing to the situation. It's crucial to take time to delve into our own attitudes, reactions, and feelings. Are we reacting impulsively? Are we allowing negativity to cloud our judgment? Have we also become a part of the problem? Recognize that it's not about blaming yourself, but rather about gaining clarity and understanding. It's about identifying patterns, learning from them, and making conscious decisions to break free from those patterns if they're contributing to toxic situations. Remember, every situation, every encounter is an opportunity to learn and grow. Self-reflection can lead to growth and understanding. In summary, dealing with toxic individuals can be challenging, but it's not impossible. We've traversed through 15 smart ways that can assist you in this journey. Recognizing toxicity is the first step, followed by not taking it personally and establishing your boundaries. Be sure to avoid needless engagement and invest time in self-care. Seeking support from trusted individuals can be a real game changer. Keep the focus on positive relationships and limit contact with those who drain your energy. Expressing yourself honestly, remaining calm, and being assertive are crucial steps in this process. Practicing empathy, even when it's challenging, can lead to better understanding. Never forget the power of maintaining a positive mindset. And if situations don't improve, there's always the option to walk away. Reflect on your experiences and learn from them. Remember, your well-being is paramount. Don't let toxicity cloud your life. Have you ever stopped to consider how much power negative thoughts have over your life? Just ponder on that for a moment. These invisible, intangible entities that reside in the corners of our minds, how they hold such sway over our actions, our emotions, and our overall mental health. Imagine you're about to give a presentation. You've spent countless hours preparing, rehearsing, perfecting, but just as you're about to step on stage, a negative thought creeps in. What if I mess up? And suddenly your confidence wanes, your palms sweat, your heart races. This single negative thought has the power to turn a well-prepared presentation into a nerve-wracking ordeal, or consider a time when you're about to embark on a new venture. Maybe you're starting a new job, or moving to a new city, but then those negative thoughts start to creep in. What if I fail? What if I can't make it? These thoughts can prevent you from seizing opportunities, from stepping out of your comfort zone, from embracing change and growth. And let's not forget about our relationships. How many times have negative thoughts influenced our interactions with others? What if they don't like me? What if I say something wrong? These thoughts can cause us to build walls, to isolate ourselves, to miss out on meaningful connections. The impact of negative thoughts is far-reaching, often dictating not only our actions but also our emotional state and overall mental health. They can create a sense of fear, anxiety, and self-doubt, holding us back from reaching our full potential. But here's the thing. These thoughts, as powerful as they may seem, are not the ultimate arbiters of our lives. We often give them more power than they deserve, allowing them to dictate our actions, our emotions, our lives. But what if I told you there's a way to master these troublesome thoughts, a way that dates back to ancient philosophy? In the heart of ancient Greece and Rome, a philosophy was born known as Stoicism. This isn't a term to be thrown around lightly. Stoicism is a school of Hellenistic philosophy that flourished throughout Greece and the Roman Empire. Stoicism is a philosophy of personal ethics, informed by its system of logic and its views on the natural world. Let's delve into the core principles of Stoicism, shall we? Stoicism teaches the development of self-control and fortitude as a means of overcoming destructive emotions. It's about understanding what we can control and what we cannot. Stoics believed that we have control over our own thoughts, beliefs and actions, but little else. Our emotions, they argued, come from our judgments, and these are within our control. Stoicism also underscores the importance of acceptance. Acceptance in Stoicism doesn't mean passive resignation, rather it's about acknowledging reality and working with it, rather than against it. It's about embracing whatever life throws at you with a calm and tranquil mind. Now you might wonder, why are we discussing an ancient philosophy in the 21st century? Well, despite its ancient roots, Stoicism remains incredibly relevant today. It offers practical advice for dealing with the stresses, challenges and uncertainties of modern life. In a world where we are often driven by emotional impulses, Stoicism provides a refreshing alternative that values rationality and inner peace. Whether you're struggling with negative thoughts, facing a difficult decision, or dealing with loss, Stoicism offers a framework for navigating these challenges with grace and resilience. It's not about suppressing emotions, but rather understanding and managing them effectively. This timeless philosophy offers a powerful tool to combat negative thoughts. It reminds us that while we can't control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond. And in this response lies our power and our freedom. So as we delve deeper into Stoicism, let's remember that it's not just a philosophy, it's a way of life, a path towards greater peace, resilience and fulfillment. One of the key principles of Stoicism is understanding what is within our control and what isn't. Stoicism, a philosophy rooted in ancient Greece, has a simple yet profound message. Focus on what is within your control and let go of the rest. This principle is not just about external circumstances, but also about our inner thoughts and emotions. Imagine a scale. On one side, you have the things you can control, and on the other, the things you can't. The weight of worry and stress often tips the scale towards the things we can't control. We fret over the past, a time we can't change, or the future, a time we can't predict. We worry about others' opinions, something we can't dictate. We let these uncontrollable factors consume our thoughts and in turn our lives. Now let's shift our focus to the other side of the scale, the things we can control. We have complete dominion over our actions, our reactions, and most importantly, our thoughts. We can choose to replace negative thoughts with positive ones. We can choose to let go of the fear of judgment and be true to ourselves. We can choose to learn from the past instead of dwelling on it, and prepare for the future instead of fearing it. This Stoic principle is particularly relevant when dealing with negative thoughts. Negative thoughts are often rooted in worries about things beyond our control. But what if we instead focused on how we respond to these thoughts? What if we chose to accept them, understand them, and then let them go, focusing on positive thoughts instead? This shift in focus doesn't mean ignoring the negatives, rather it's about acknowledging them, understanding that they are beyond our control, and then focusing our energy on what we can control, our response. By understanding and applying this Stoic principle, we can gain a sense of calm and control amidst the chaos of life. We can learn to navigate through the storm of negative thoughts, not by trying to control the storm, but by controlling our vessel, our mind. By focusing on what we can control, we begin to free ourselves from the grip of negative thoughts. Another fundamental principle of Stoicism is acceptance. Acceptance, in the context of Stoicism, is about acknowledging the world as it is, not as we would like it to be. It's about understanding that our perceptions of reality are often distorted by our desires, fears, and prejudices. This distortion can lead to a great deal of suffering, and it is here where negative thoughts often take root. Imagine a garden, for instance, where you've planted a variety of seeds. Some of them sprout into beautiful flowers, while others grow into thorny bushes. Now you might wish that all your seeds had become flowers, but the reality is different. This is where acceptance comes into play. You acknowledge the existence of the thorny bushes, and instead of lamenting their presence, you learn to appreciate them for what they are. Similarly, in the garden of our minds, negative thoughts are like those thorny bushes. We might wish to only have positive thoughts, but that's not how our minds work. Negative thoughts will sprout, whether we like it or not. And just like with the thorny bushes, the key is not to try and uproot these thoughts, but to accept them. But what does it mean to accept negative thoughts? It doesn't mean to indulge in them or let them control us. Rather, it means acknowledging their presence without judgment. It's about understanding that thoughts, be they positive or negative, are a natural part of our human experience. They come and they go, much like the clouds in the sky. Acceptance is not a passive state, but an active process. It's about choosing to see reality clearly, without the distortions of our desires and fears. It's about realizing that negative thoughts are not the problem, but our resistance to them is. When we stop fighting our thoughts and start accepting them, we can begin to free ourselves from their grip. So, when negative thoughts arise, instead of trying to push them away, we can choose to accept them. We can acknowledge them, observe them, and let them pass. In doing so, we can find a sense of peace and equanimity, even amidst the storm of our thoughts. Acceptance, then, is another key to unlocking the chains of negative thinking. Now, you might be wondering, how can we apply these principles in our daily lives? Well, the beauty of Stoicism lies in its applicability. It's not just a philosophy to be read about, it's a way of life to be lived. Let's start with a few practical ways to implement Stoic principles. Firstly, mindfulness exercises. Being present in the moment, focusing on the here and now, is a cornerstone of Stoicism. We often find our minds wandering to past regrets or future worries, but remember, the past is unchangeable and the future is unpredictable. All we truly have control over is the present. By practicing mindfulness, we train our minds to focus on the present, to be in tune with our current emotions and thoughts, and to observe them without judgment. This can help us manage and reduce negative thoughts. Next, there's journaling. It's not just for teenagers with crushes. The Stoics were big on writing. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoics, kept a journal that is now known as the Meditations. Writing our thoughts and feelings can give us clarity, help us understand our emotions better, and even reveal patterns in our thinking. It's a way to have a conversation with ourselves, to question our negative thoughts, and to challenge them. Remember, our thoughts are not always facts. Lastly, let's talk about mental reframing. It's a technique that involves changing the way we perceive events or situations. The Stoics believed that we don't react to events themselves, but to our perceptions of them. For example, if it's raining, you could perceive it as a ruined day, or you could perceive it as a chance to stay in and read a good book. The rain is simply the rain. It's our perception that gives it meaning. By consciously reframing our perceptions, we can transform our reactions and consequently our emotions. But it's important to remember that implementing these practices is not a quick fix. It's a process. It takes time, patience, and consistency. You might not see a drastic change overnight, but if you stick with it over time, you'll find that your negative thoughts have less power over you. You'll find that you're more at peace with yourself and the world around you. You see, Stoicism is not just a philosophy, it's a toolkit for life. It provides us with practical tools to navigate our thoughts and emotions, to build resilience, to cultivate inner peace. And remember, the goal is not to eliminate negative thoughts entirely. That's not realistic or even healthy. We're human beings, not robots. We feel a range of emotions, and that's okay. The goal is to manage our negative thoughts, to not let them control us, to live a more balanced and fulfilling life. The path to a more positive mindset is not a destination, but a journey. Of course, implementing these principles won't always be easy. It's like learning a new language or picking up a new instrument. You won't become fluent overnight, nor will you play a symphony in a day. Embracing Stoicism and using it to combat negative thoughts is a journey, one that may be fraught with challenges. Firstly, it's important to acknowledge that you might face resistance, both from within and from the world around you. People may not comprehend your new approach to life, and your own mind might rebel against the unfamiliar. You might find yourself slipping back into old patterns of thought, succumbing again to the negative thoughts you're striving to remove. It's natural, it's human, and it's a part of the process. Secondly, you might feel overwhelmed. Stoicism is a philosophy that's been around for centuries, and it can feel like a lot to take in. You might question whether you're doing it right, whether you're truly understanding the principles, or whether it's even working. But here's the thing. The road to overcoming any obstacle is paved with patience and perseverance. It's about taking one step at a time, no matter how small. It's about picking yourself up when you stumble and carrying on. It's about understanding that success isn't linear and that it's perfectly okay to have bad days. What matters is your resilience, your determination to keep going. So when you face these challenges, remember why you started. Remember that you're doing this to regain control over your thoughts, to free yourself from the negativity that's been holding you back. And remember that it's okay to ask for help, to reach out to others who are on the same journey or those who have walked this path before. In the face of obstacles, keep your eyes on the prize. Remember that every challenge you overcome brings you one step closer to your goal. Every hurdle you clear, every mountain you climb makes you stronger, more resilient, and better equipped to face whatever life throws at you. Remember, every step, no matter how small, is progress. So, can we really master our negative thoughts? It's a question we've been pondering, and the answer is a resounding yes. It's not a walk in the park, mind you, but it's certainly achievable. Let's take a moment to recap what we've explored today. We started by acknowledging the profound impact of negative thoughts on our lives. These thoughts can hold us back, create stress, and even affect our physical health. But we also recognize that they are a part of the human experience. They're not inherently bad, but they can become problematic when they start to dominate our mental landscape. Enter Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has stood the test of time. Stoicism teaches us that we don't have control over everything that happens to us. We can't control the weather, the traffic, or other people's actions, but we do have control over our thoughts and our reactions. This principle forms the bedrock of Stoicism and is a powerful tool in managing negative thoughts. We also discussed the Stoic practice of acceptance. Rather than resisting the inevitable ups and downs of life, Stoicism encourages us to accept them as they are. This acceptance can help us to see our negative thoughts for what they are, just thoughts. They're not facts, and they're certainly not our destiny. Then we delved into how we can apply Stoicism in our daily lives. It's not about becoming emotionless or indifferent. It's about developing resilience, maintaining perspective, and focusing on what we can control. By doing so, we can reduce the hold that negative thoughts have over us. This journey won't always be easy. There will be obstacles along the way. But remember, overcoming these obstacles is part of the process. It's through these challenges that we grow and learn. The power to change your thoughts lies within you. And with Stoicism, you have a guide to help you along the way.